Things may have got hairy near the end for the Jays, but they hang on for, it felt like dear life. 13-9 against the Colorado Rockies, and hey, they've won back-to-back games, and as we talked about, heading into this series, you get nine games against really bad teams. You got to take care of business, and you're going to gain ground on somebody. Now, this game had a little bit of everything going on. Danny Jansen gets hit with a foul ball, of course, and he leaves the game with a fractured finger, and we're just like it couldn't get worse right now with Bo out, with Matt Chapman out. Jansen hits a home run in this game, and just because he leaves the game with an injury. And then you have Chad Green, right? We've talked about him all offseason, about a great acquisition all year long, coming back from Tommy John, kind of like a trade deadline acquisition, right? Been in AAA, done his thing to this point, gets a September call-up, and was hit very hard in his debut and just about allowed that full-on comeback. And it's unfortunate that we had to see Jordan Romano come out there and get that final out. You really didn't want to have to do that, especially in an 8-run game at the beginning of that 9th inning. You really didn't want to see that. But in the end, like I said, they hang on for dear life and they win this one. 13-9 over the Rockies in Colorado. I will be at the games tomorrow and on Sunday. So, keep a lookout for the Canadian flag, baby. That thing's flying. All right, so let's get to this ball game. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Montero hits a 2-run shot of Hyunjin Ryu, kind of like a changeup at the bottom of the zone, maybe even a curveball that didn't move too much. And it got dispensed of into the left field bleachers. 2-run shot. You're down 2-0 early. Not great. But in the next half inning, Brandon Belt pieces one up and drills one to right field, and it's gone. Solo shot for him, and the Jays are on the board. It's 2-1. All right. Next inning, top 5, Ernie Clement. I mean, we've talked about it the last couple of games, right? He put a spark in the team a little bit, and he comes up, and he drills one on the left field line. Question is it going to stay fair? It rings off the foul pole, and we're tied at 2. Awesome, awesome stuff. Top of the 6th inning, right? Every inning, the Jays put up the 0 in the bottom half, turn right back over to their offense, and they come through with Brandon Belt on base yet again. Danny Jansen at the dish drills one. I mean, drills one to left field. It's like 450 feet or whatever it was. 2-run shot, and the Jays get the lead now. It's 4-2. Exactly where you want to be if you're the Bluebirds, right? Exactly where you want to be. But then, bottom half of the 6th inning, Jimmy Garcia goes out there, gives him a couple base runners, but then gets the next 2 guys out. And with the lefty coming up, I think it was, Nate Jones. Nate Jones? Nolan Jones. Why did I say Nate Jones? Who the hell is Nate Jones? Anyways, Nolan Jones at the dish, you bring in the lefty Genesis Cabrera, and he fires a fastball down and away. It's not a bad pitch to a lefty, but he drills it to left. And it's a 3-run shot, and you can see from Cabrera's reaction, he was not happy. Most definitely. And you're down 5-4. And with the Jays offense, you don't know what you're going to get. You have no clue. Top half of the 7th inning, with Kevin Kiermaier on 3rd and George Springer at 1st, with nobody out. Now, Jays fans, we've seen this story before. Runners in the corners, runners in scoring position with nobody out, and you're down a run, you need at least one. A lot of the times they've fallen apart and died. But Davis Schneider drills one to center field. A leaping try at the wall by the center fielder can't make the play. Kiermaier ends up at home plate. Springer ends up at 3rd. Schneider ends up at 2nd. And more importantly, you've tied the game at 5. And you have 2nd and 3rd, nobody out still. Vladdy goes up there, and I don't know what the hell he was doing there. Sure, he had a double to the left. Sure, he had that ringing shot in the 1st inning that he gets out on. But a guy's in 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And I understand Angel Hernandez, I think, was up behind the dish. Let me quickly see if I can... That in itself is... You're asking for trouble. And 2 of the strikes weren't great. But the 3rd pitch is a really good pitch, a fastball in the inner corner, and he looks at it. Watches 3 fastballs go by, whether it's a real strike or not, and doesn't take a hack, and goes and sits his rear end back on the bench. He has 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. You're in a tie ball game. What the hell kind of a bat was that? Anyways, Alejandro Kirk comes up with the bases loaded, right? He comes up with, Brandon Belt walks. So the bases are loaded now with 1 out for Kirk. And every Jays fan at that point is like, oh, God. I can feel and see the ground ball to short, the ground ball to third, double play inning over. You can just see it. But Kirk absolutely torches a ball down the left field line. In comes Davis Schneider. In comes George Springer. And in comes Brandon Belt. And the Jays break this game wide open. It's 8-5. They weren't done. Next batter, Whit Merrifield. Ball up and away, and he drills it to right field. Charlie Blackmon can't make the play. One hops the wall. Kirk comes in to score to make it 9-5 Blue Jays. And you're up 4. You're feeling great. You've scored 4 in an inning. You got clutch hits with runners in scoring position. It's a good vibe there in the top of the 7th. Top of the 8th inning, Vladdy comes up and rips one down the third baseline on the ground, though, unfortunately. But Davis Schneider does come around to score on the RBI double from Vladdy to make it 10-5 Blue Jays. And then in the top of the 9th inning, Ernie Clement again drills it on the first baseline. It stays fair and goes all the way in the corner. Witt scores. Varsho scores. Ernie Clement with a 2-run triple after hitting a solo shot earlier on in the ball game. And this extends the lead. It's now 12-5 Blue Jays. Then George Springer hits an RBI single, scoring Ernie Clement to right field. On the ground. Him and Vladdy, man, those ground balls are just so painful. They hit him so hard, but the right-hand guys went quite often. But he singles to right field, scoring Ernie Clement, and the Blue Jays extend it again. It's 13-5. You're buzzing, right? You got great bullpen stuff. Sure, Anderson Cabrera allowed the home run, and he's going to have an off night. I think it's his first earned run as a Blue Jay. Unfortunately, it came in that magnitude, but you won the ball game. So you'll give him the pass. He had the stinker. Get back on the horse and give you a good outing his next outing out, right? But you bring out Chad Green, and you're thinking, okay, great spot to put him out there in his first game as a Blue Jay, first game back in, year and a half, 2 years for Chad Green. So it makes sense. An 8-run ball game against not a great offense. Well, things unravel a bit. Now, I think it was Ernie Clement at third base. It was a chopper to him. He should have made the play. It goes by him. But in the end, an RBI single from Montero scoring Nolan Jones. Then Sean Bouchard. I never heard of this guy in a million years. Gets an RBI ground out, and Montero scores. So now it's 13-7. But again, you got an out there, so there's no problem. Then Elias Diaz. It's an RBI single scoring Brenton Doyle. Again, never heard of these guys. Then Ryan McMahon hits an RBI double scoring Elias Diaz. And just like that, it is a 13-9 game. And Jays fans at this point are crapping themselves. If you're not, then you haven't been a Jays fan all year and seen this team play. But let's get to these stats because that's how it ends as Jordan Romano flipping locks this baby down. Offensively, George Springer 3 for 6 with a run scored and an RBI. Great stuff for George. David Schneider only 1 for 4, but you know what? Did a job. Scored 2 runs, had an RBI, walked once as well. Good day in the office for him. Vladdy goes 1 for 6 with an RBI. What else can you say? Brandon Belt 2 for 4, 3 runs scored. Obviously the home run and the RBI on that, and he walked once in the ball game, so good day for Brandon Belt. Danny Jensen goes 1 for 3 before he leaves the ball game, unfortunately. Kirk goes 1 for 2 with a run scored, 3 RBIs in the game. Obviously the bases clearing double for Kirky is the big shot of the game for the Blue Jays. Whit Merrifield 3 for 5 with a run scored and RBI. He's been scuffling recently, so to see him have a 3-hit game is really nice. Dalton Varsho 1 for 3 with a run scored. He walked twice, got on base 3 of the 4 times he came to the dish. A great day for Dalton. In the bottom lineup, listen to this. Ernie Clement, 2 for 5, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs, a home run. Kevin Kiermaier, 2 for 4 with a run scored, and he walked once as well. Yes, 17 hits for the Blue Jays, 13 runs, only struck out 4 times, walked 5 times. Great stuff, as you'd expect against the crappy Rockies. You just need to do it. Pitching-wise, let's get through this, shall we? Hyunjin Ryu in 5 innings allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 Ks, walked 2, and allowed 1 home run. Wasn't as great as we've seen recently from Ryu, but he battled. In 5 innings, a 2-run ball, you won't complain about that any day. Jimmy Garcia goes 2/3 an inning, allows 1 hit, 2 runs, strikes out 2, and unfortunately those 2 runs came on the home run, but it was not earned runs, as Henderson Cabrera picks up the win, but goes 1/3 of an inning, allows 1 hit, and it was the 1 home run, unfortunately. Jordan Hicks goes a clean inning, allows a hit and nothing more. Trevor Richards a clean inning, no runners and a strikeout, so a great job from T. Rich. And Chad Green, 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 4 runs, all were earned. Painful stuff from him. Romano goes out there, faces one guy, and strikes him out to end the ball game. So you get the win, great. And you quickly look at the schedule before we wrap this puppy up. Mariners lost 2-1 to the Mets. Rays lost 3-2 to the Guardians. Minnesota beat the Rangers 5-1. Yankees beat the Astros 6-2. And just for for argument's sake, the Royals beat the snot of the Red Sox 13-2. Every team the Jays were supposed to catch, are trying to catch, lost today. And you won. You got to keep going. This is the stuff we've been talking about. You win your games against these painfully bad teams, dominoes will fall. You got to go out there tomorrow and get a win. Yusei Kikuchi gets the ball for the Blue Jays in Game 2 against, Ty Blatch. Let's see if I can actually get a pronunciation of that name before I butcher it again tomorrow. Do they have a pronunciation? Black? I think it's Black. Anyways, Ty Black, I'm going to go with that. Either way, he's been decent for them, I guess. 48 innings pitched with a 3.94 ERA, only 26 strikeouts in 48 innings. It's not great. Kikuchi's been dominant for the Blue Jays this year, struggled recently, but you're going up against a painfully bad Rockies team. Do a job, get a win tomorrow, right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the W today, no matter how stressful and upset you are about Danny Jansen leaving the game, you won the ball game, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below. So follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And, of course, I'll talk to you tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow night, though, of course, after the game. Jays, Rockies, Game 2 of the 3-game set at Coors Field. I'll be there. Keep an eye out. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game today. Talk to you guys then.